Hi friends! Welcome back to my channel. This is a part of VEDA, and in this video I was highly inspired by books with Emily Fox. I'll link her channel down below or up in the cards. Probably up in the cards. But she does this reading vlog series where it's basically read it or unhaul it. So she picks a genre out of her jar and then she reads from that shelf. Usually it's only one book. Or does she pick the actual book? I don't remember if she picks the actual book or the shelf. But the concept is that you basically grab a book, any book. I'm probably going to make a list on my computer, and then I'm just going to have it numbered, and then we're going to do a random number generator, and that'll be the book that I pick, because I think we have 21 books. But basically, I'm going to talk about all 21 of these books, and these are books that I got, you know what, 25 books, 25. These are books that I got for differing reasons. Some were because they were really hyped. Some were just because they're thrillers, or they were a book of the month choice, or anything like that. So basically the concept of this video, like I said, I'm going to make a list and then I'm going to pick a random number and say that The Midnight Library by Matt Haig is the book that gets picked. Then I have to read it or unhaul it. So if I'm going to read the first chapter, and then after the first chapter, I'm going to come back and tell you my thoughts and tell you if I'm either just going to give up on it and unhaul it, or if I'm going to try to read it all the way through. And I'm thinking that I might do what Emily does and do like a dedicated reading vlog for each of these books. Let me know in the comments below if that's something that you like. I love reading vlogs, but I don't normally do it. We'll watch them when it's just one book. But I don't know if that's something that you guys like. More than likely, if I did that, it would be spoilers. So there'd be like a spoiler warning in that video. But yeah, I just have a bunch of different things and I'm a little bit intimidated. So let's start with this first stack because you saw the first book already. These 4 books I got because they were hyped on BookTube or somewhere. I saw them hyped somewhere. The first one is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. In this, you follow Nora, who I believe committed suicide. And instead of moving on, she goes to this place called the Midnight Library, where she can actually check out books from her life. I'm so sorry if you can hear that. And she gets to go back to that time and make different decisions and see how it affects her life. I've heard that it's really great commentary on humanity and real life thoughts and things like that. So I am intrigued. I hope the mental health rep is good. Okay, and then the next really hyped one was The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. This follows 2 twin sisters who grow up together, but when they get older, one marries a white man and passes for white as the other one. marries a black man and passes for black, and it just talks about the differences growing up and everything like that and how it affects their relationship. Then I have Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Mean. I have tried to read this several times, and I DNF it each time. But it's like a housewife drama. I think there's murder. And, probably. I think someone sets a house on fire. I don't really know. I just know it was really hyped and everyone loved it, but I've DNF'd it so many times that maybe I should just unhaul it, give up on it. And then my last one is a monster. This one I really do want to read, but I'm also very intimidated by the size. So this is 11/22/63 by Stephen King. This is an alternate history book that follows the JFK assassination and what would have happened if that didn't happen like that. There's Gunslinger Girl by Lindsay Ellie. I mean, this one sounds really good, but also very outside my comfort zone. It's like a historical western. Meet Serendipity Jones, the fastest sharpshooter in tomorrow's war. This time a girl is calling the shots. So, I don't know, it might be good, but I'm a little nervous for it. So it's tomorrow. So is it sci-fi? I don't really know. We Are the Brennans by Tracy Ling. You follow this woman named Sunday. Sunday is her name. She was in a drunk driving accident. She was drinking, and she hasn't really been home in several years, so her brother actually comes to see if she's okay and figure out what happened. And because for all he knew was that her life was great and that she was super happy, but it doesn't seem like that is true. Then we have Adelaide by Genevieve Willer. This and the next one actually just follow broken marriages. The next one is Rootless by Crystal Zara Apaya. Both of these just follow broken marriages. They're literary fiction. I'm not 100% certain if they're going to be for me, but I have them nonetheless. And then we have a Bella Boo break. Baby! She comes in to sit on the carpet, so she's probably not even going to hang out with me very long. She doesn't like me anymore. Right, Mama? Baby girl. Okay. Then, Oh My Darling by Amity Gage. Again, this is another broken marriage type story. I don't really know anything about it. Okay, this one's going to be weird, but I have Pass Her Through by Peter Rock on this list because I bought this and I thought that it was a nonfiction. So I thought it was a true survival story about being lost in the wilderness of Mount Rainier. It's not. It's a fiction story, and there's no, like, actual truth to it. So I'm not interested. I would have been interested if it was, like, a true story, but it's not. Then there's Home Again by Kristen Hanna. I'm just determined to find a Kristen Hanna book that I like. Because I find potential in her writing, but The Great Alone just wasn't for me. So this is like a second chance romance, I think. Then we have two fantasy books. I don't read fantasy often, but there's something about School for Psychics by K.C. Archer, which is like a school for psychics. I think it's a college too. And then there's The Lock by Steve Alton, which is about the Loch Ness Monster. And usually monsters aren't my thing either, except for Bella and Jelly Bean. And Patrick sometimes. Patrick is my husband. Okay. Then these two are both political in tone, and I didn't realize that at first. So now I'm terrified to read these. So there's The Circle by Dave Eggers and Imposter Syndrome by Kathy Wong. I don't know a whole lot about them. I just found out they're very political and polarizing. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. Alright. Now, if this one comes up, I might read all three of them in the same reading vlog. I guess it depends on how easily I get through them. But I have my young adult dystopian series, Matched, Crossed, Reached by Ali Condi. So this is the Matched series. It's a dystopian. It's young adult. And I heard there's a love triangle in it. So all signs point to the fact that I'm not going to like this book. But I do want to give it a shot before I just unhaul it. She's still my baby though. Forever and ever, Bella Boo. Right, Mama? Okay, we have 2 more stacks. So I'm going to let her go. We're going to talk about my 3 true crime books. I got rid of most of my true crime books, but these ones sounded really good, and they still do. But like I said in this unhaul video, I don't read true crime much anymore. Usually I just watch like Kendall Ray on YouTube or Mr. Baller on YouTube or a podcast of true crime. That's how I prefer to get my true crime media. So if these ones I saved because I am interested in them. I just know I won't read them unless I have that extra push. So Molly's Game by Molly Bloom. The 5 by Haley Rubenhold. This is The Untold Lives of the Women Killed by Jack the Ripper. So this one is the one I'm most excited for. So I might try and read this one soon. Then Unbelievable by T. Christian Miller and Ken Armstrong. This one follows Marie, who was assaulted in her house and no one believed her. And then a couple years later in Denver, they're having the same kind of attacks and they're finally coming back to talk to her. And I think that the police or the army or someone of that nature has something to do with it. But there's also a series on Netflix. See Netflix? Limited series. There's a Netflix series which I could just watch instead of reading. And I might enjoy it more. I don't like saying that though because these are like true stories. They're nonfiction and like it's not for enjoyment. It's for education. But I don't know. I'm just going on a tangent. Okay. Our last stack right here is kind of like in the stack because they're all historical books somehow. So there's Jack Baby, which is a paranormal investigator in 1892 England. Then Diane Chamberlain. I was looking for The Dream Daughter. Couldn't find it, so I got Big Lies in a Small Town and The Stolen Marriage by Diane Chamberlain instead. They're both dual timeline or historical fiction. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't know what to expect from this author. She's either going to become a new favorite or I'm going to absolutely hate everything she writes. So I'm hoping to get to these soon too. And then I'm not going to tell you anything about these because I don't know anything, but I know they're historical fictions. So there's Wayward by Amelia Hart. There's The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. This one takes place during World War II, and that's all that I know. And then The Last Russian Doll by Kristen Loesch. So So these are my Read It or Unhaul It books. Basically, like I already explained, I'm going to make a list. I'm going to pick a random number, or maybe I'll just like grab one. But what we're going to do is we are going to pick one of these every month before my game starts. And if you didn't know, I play a game to figure out my TBR for the month. So I'm going to just grab one. So say that I grab Reached. I obviously haven't read Matched yet, so I will pick Matched instead. And then maybe as I start dwindling these down a little bit, if I'm still enjoying this, maybe I'll go through and pick out more books that I'm nervous for one reason or another. But I'm very intrigued about this, and I will do a dedicated reading vlog for whatever books or whatever book comes up for each month. So each month you have at least one dedicated reading vlog from me. Even if it's just one book, like Molly's Game, then I will be spoiling all of it for you if I finish the whole book. But remember, I have that chance to read chapter 1 and decide if I want to keep going or if I want to unhaul it. It's perfectly acceptable to not really be enjoying it and just unhaul it before I get to read it. But the point is that I'm at least attempting it. And yeah, I think this will be like a fun project on my channel. Remember to go check out Emily Fox's channel because that's where I got the idea. I'll try and link one of those videos here, or at least her channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. And if you made it all the way down, or all the way to the end, please put a doggy emoji down below to represent our little girl Bella here. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys later.